This is a public announcement. If you see an unattended ventriloquist dummy on the parade, do not approach it. I repeat, do not approach it.
Thargoids everywhere, and nowhere safe to hide. If you've got the cash to spare, and you're fighting on our side, then get to a combat zone right now, and fight to stop the foe. Whether evacuating passengers in your big space cow, or blasting Thargoids left and right with a deadly space light show. Even Flossy and the Wotherspoon are doing their very best. 2 systems have been saved from doom, and we're working on the rest. The truckers managed to survive to get back here and say,
our studio mics are live!
Hooray!
It's absolutely no surprise that here in the studio we've got Thargoids on the brain.
Well, it beats the content of yours.
Well, no, I cleared my implant's browser history.
Sorry to tell you, that was the script you purged. The browser history is all on my screen at the moment.
I can read that out if you prefer.
Well, not if we want to stay on air.
You know, with all this Thargoid expansion that's going on, it's not going to be long before we're going to start needing to use the outside broadcast adder.
Well, it does boggle the mind a little bit about how we'd fit everyone in that ship. However, it does look like I've managed to restore the headlines from the backup. It's given me a bit of a headache, but 240 volts straight to the frontal lobes will do that. So, yeah, here goes. Carriers, just say no.
Wotherspoon nearly single-handedly destroys the Thargoid invasion.
Too hot, too messy. Update. Week 19.
Commander Galnet discovers the light at the end of the passage.
Orthrus identified as giant space signpost.
Atrus 5060 has an axe to grind.
Barnard's not bottom?
First this evening, and starting well away from any maelstroms, Thargoids or invasion wars, or wars generally, a glitch has hit the Brewer Corporation and the studio, judging by the buttons I just pushed. The latest controversy related to their big space behemoths, the fleet carriers. While most galactic plotting is left to the Dastardly Don or the Pilots Federation, Salvation, that Dalton fella, of course Tharg the Mighty's mighty master plotter, there's one plot that appears to not be going entirely to plan. Universal Cartographics have launched an investigation into reports that pilots attempting to plot routes on their carriers, whether towards the danger and into systems surrounding the Thargoid invasion, or away from it in a mass exodus towards Beagle Point, have all been left with the mysterious message, "Computer says no." Click a planet, computer says no. Click a moon, still no. A moon? Double no. How about a nice gas giant? A nebulous and rather gaseous? Nope. The computer is failing to recognise anywhere as a valid destination. Commanders have realised that the location they first click on is perfectly fine. The onboard computer, however, has a tantrum. The kind that happens when in some households whoever is tasked with kitchen duty starts suggesting meals for the family and ends with 5 kinds of takeaway delivered by 5 different Apex taxis and 5 sets of disappointment as they all forget the coleslaw, the chips are cold, there's no poppadoms to go with the selection of dips you've just ordered. the Pilots Federation, working closely with Universal Cartographics, believe that they have identified the problem and are pledging to have it fixed at some point after they've had their Christmas dinner, or insert culturally appropriate midwinter festive celebratory meal here, and had a good sleep until 3309. In the meantime, you'll just have to make do with making your mind up and clicking it right first time.
With the Thargoid War in full swing and humanity rushing to defend populated systems from invasion, AXI and of course Hackswing identified a number of stations that have had a chance of being defended against the marauding Medusas, the scything Cyclops, the bellicose Basilisks and the pesky Little Scouts. Both were really HIP systems, and having identified that Tharg must share the 7-day cycle that we do from old Earth, there was enough time to do the necessary. It was bimbling along and the systems were in danger of falling under a big green cloud. What humanity needed was a hero. The kind of pilot who could take the fight to the green meanies and teach them a lesson that humanity was not to be trifled with. Unfortunately, they were on holiday. So Witherspoon and his camera crate jumped into action, supported by Commander Flossy, all suggestions that she doesn't do anti-Xeno stuff are lies, and their very own Vantian, who apparently got lost on his way home from his holidays. Witherspoon in 21 jumped into a wing, launched from the soon-to-be stricken station, and stepped up on behalf of Hutton, aided by Flossy, who didn't want a wing because she's tough enough to take them all on her own. And rather unsurprisingly, the message came over subspace messaging from AXI that Tharg had been defeated. Now, far be it from us to claim that all the glory, but the facts fit. We turned up, Tharg left. Whether it's a case of Hutton being the last straw that broke the Thargoid's carapace, or he fled in sheer terror at the sight of a wild-eyed, pan-wielding Flossy and a very buckling of the swash Witherspoon, or of course the sight of Commander Vantian running away from a caustic missile and getting stuck in the superstructure of the station before blowing up in a huge explosion, a purple one, we will never know. Just so we can spread the love a little bit, we thought we'd reach out and see if there was anyone else taking part, and here's what they had, and here's what we got back. From Commander Quadrivium.
Only to report that during my unapproved and unpaid leave of absence from proper muggings, I have thrown my chucking skills and hot goodwill efforts to support the efforts of the PDES. Over 16k saves to date, mostly sleepy wounded evacs, but I have tried to give the terrified walk passengers a mug and gin. As usual, they responded the same to a Tharg interdiction as a bump on the hull with caustic and shameful entitlement. Some attacked me with the gifted mug.
The exploits of the mighty Dio.
Ship's log, Dio. Location, Asterope. Activity, killed my first Thargoid. Log entry, popped my first Goid. Cyclops, with an Anaconda. The King Leonidas. Battle-oriented multi-role. Current loadout is 4 of the new enhanced AXMCs. Outcome, 5% hull left. Acid eating away at my ship. Out of potato chips. Ate them all in heat at the moment. Nearly pissed myself. Ugh, it's so darn stressful. I think I might need to treat myself after this. Maybe a cup of Starstruck coffee. This is a canon company in the ED universe. And maybe a trip to the Zen Gardens of Jameson Memorial.
We're glad that you used the pointy end of the Anaconda. Commander Goose 4291 has been fighting in an Eagle. Now that is a proper bit of huttoning. Commander Sarasosa, hoping to avoid being boarded, pillaged and generally liberated of their hard-earned swag, engaged in the computer's built-in purge, which incidentally also clears the browser history. Just in case. Stuck 2 fingers up at the Thargoids in the windscreen and sang the Hutton theme tune for the required 15 seconds before the data purge, before being ejected into space wearing nothing but a REM log and a smile. Their ship was recovered by a passing rescue vehicle and they were reunited with it, minus the browser history mind, for the next foray into deep space. And finally, Felix de Sestria sent us this from the battlefront.
Last run to Wakata on Monday, I was interdicted twice on the way in. My clipper was loaded with HE suits and reactive armour. Dropped in at the rear of the station, the scanner was a riot of red, green and yellow station guns blasting near continuously. Warnings of caustic missiles going off, I entered the slot somewhere over 300 metres per second, overshot my pad and had to fight with a stick to get back. After I unloaded, I launched to see an anaconda full of refugees heading out of the slot ahead of me. There was a warning about an energy surge, so I hit boost, dodging round the conda as I caught up with it, shot sparking off its hull. Broke mass lock, jumped back to my carrier.
Too Hot, Too Messy has sailed past 4 months and taken us into week 19. Total deliveries is sitting at just over 42,000 mugs and gin. Again, Tharg the Mighty's little winter road trip to the bubble has had an effect, and last week saw lowest number of deliveries ever, with only 847. But this week he's saying, "Hold my conger ale," with a hopeful face. Remember, shooting the flower people won't win you a naturalist badge, and every mug counts, and also you may just win a real mug by taking part. What do you get from Tharg, eh? Other than a nasty caustic rash. No new commanders have joined for 2 weeks in a row, with the total number of participants still at 240 pilots, spread across 79 squadrons, and of course, more are always very welcome. Naturally, Hutton are blazing their way across the bubble, but with less green and less fire than Tharg, collectively delivering just a smidge under 17,500 mugs and gin gift sets. The Winged Tsars are in second with over 2,200 muggins, and the Paladins are still holding third with over 1,460. Some guy called Chicks is still out in front with more than 3,500 mugs and gin delivered. Some say that he's had a week off in North Britain's freezing parts just to blow a raspberry at the train unions, only narrowly making his escape back to the Metropolis. Waller 81 is still in second, marginally widening the gap to Nem in third to 60 deliveries, but that could change at any moment. Infinite Dreamer and Mouse 8287 complete the top 5 commanders. There are no new commanders joining the hallowed ranks of the 1000 Club this week, but Shay Blackwood has put in a few decent shifts, passing Val Silvana, and he's very close to the clubhouse door with over 900 deliveries. How do we know all this? Well, because it's tracked by the marvel that is the Hutton Helper and updated live on the Too Hot, Too Messy event page at hot.forthemug.com/hotmess2. Apart from the glory alone, there is an additional incentive in the form of a chance to win a real-world, handle-the-right-way-up Velcro-free mods-preventing Hutton mug. Any commander that delivers 10 mugs and gin in a week will be entered into that week's draw to win a real Hutton mug. Unless you have one already, in which case you'll already have been immunised against mods. 18 commanders have accomplished this so far, and you can see a little golden mug next to their name in the top commanders table. So keep listening for this week's winner to be announced in the banter bit after the news. How do I join in the fun, I hear you ask? Well, first, you need to sign up by downloading the Hutton Helper from hot.forthemug.com/download, where your mug and gin deliveries will be automatically registered for you by Antarius's genetically altered genius hamsters.
News from the community that Commander Yannick of the Passage to Andromeda expedition has finally completed the mission earlier this week and has passed there thanks to the entire community for taking part. For the original expeditioneers, Dr. Kai and Aramus for inspiring this one with their distant worlds trip. It marks Commander Yannick's last expedition as leader, as they passed the torch to the next person and are looking forward to enjoying a bit of R&R. just in time to get back and battle Tharg. A hearty further mug from everyone here at Hutton to the entire expedition crew, and we've loved your updates as you've gone along.
The new Thargoid variant, seen in space since the Maelstroms arrived, has been identified and engaged by pilots eager to stop it in its tracks. Named the Orthrus, it appears to be a non-combat Thargoid. Perhaps it's an exploration craft, searching the galaxy for whatever Thargoids want to stick in their codex. Our intrepid outside science team have a different theory though. It's a Thargoid advance party, and this is Tharg's first mistake. We now know where they're going to go next. If you spot an Orthrus, then you can bet your bottom cannon coin that the galactic invasion will be visiting soon. But why is it called an Orthrus? Our searchers in the library came up with two choices. The first is a two-headed dog who watches Gerion's cattle and was the father of either the Sphinx or the Neamian lion. And as Thargoids aren't cattle, we don't think it's that. The other is a variety of spider, a jumping spider. Spiders have 8 legs and Thargoids jump, so systems near Thargoid space are being invaded by jumping spiders who may or may not also be watching mythical cattle and reproducing to create monsters. All we know is that humanity, in response to the invasion, shot them. They call for help, but it's not fast enough. We apply the big slipper of "OMG, would you look at the size of that?" and the rolled up newspaper of "Quick, squash it!" with a side order of a giant Hutton mug and a piece of card before lobbing it out the window and then wondering whether it fell outside or onto your own jumper before shivering.
Good evening, trackers! 5060 reporting in with this week's update on the Thargoid War. It's been a rough week for humanity, as there are now a total of 8 Maelstroms present, with the latest being dubbed Thor. I bet he's Thor. Ragin and Haddad, located in the Call 285 sector IGO C6-5. Pegasi sector IHU B3-3 and the HIP 30,377 system, respectively. The number of systems affected by the war has also gone up. There are now 38 systems on Thargoid alerts, up from 26, 59 undergoing Thargoid invasion, up from 41, and 208 under Thargoid control. That's up from 106. Through all this hardship, there is some hope. AXI and its allies, including the infamous X-Wing, has successfully defended both HIP 20485 and HIP 23617 from Thargoid control. Recovery efforts will be needed in both systems, so await orders from Operation IDA. It's been a while on where to begin. This week, orders from the Axie are to defend Vukulber, close to HP 25,679, and to launch an offensive attack in HIP 25,679, Awara and Ebisu. The focus will be to continue our efforts defeating the invasions near the Tyrannus Maelstrom. While it may seem that the Thargoids have the upper hand for now, humanity has always proven itself resilient, and we will save the bubble. Haxring, be sure to do you Hutton proud and join in the defense of these systems. Axie are highly suggesting to team up with your fellow commanders, since these are the most intense combat zones we have ever faced. Non-combat pilots are needed to deliver rescue and recovery supplies. And and also to ferry passengers from attack stations. Be sure to bring a fast ship with shields, since high prediction is likely, even if you're not armed. In addition to that, haulers are needed to complete the manufacturing of the latest AX weapons from Liz Ryder and Zachariah Nemo. There is plenty to do, trackers, and humanity needs us now more than ever. For the mug!
I don't know. You go away for just 1 week, leaving everything neat and tidy, to come back to find the BGS is in bits, Barnard's stars no longer in the bottom 3, and Tharg set fire to the bubble. More on those stories coming up. Low system on the poll this week is Epsilon Indy on 32%, home to 90% of Alvin's subjects and notoriously difficult to shift. There is nothing particularly untoward going on, it's just that Indy has been on a gradual decline over recent weeks. A civil war has just started, locking up a quarter of the system influence, making things even harder to shift. A point above Indy is Ross 671 on 33, which just seems to be going through a phase of apathy. Poor little Avic, struggling also on 38, finds itself besieged by a serious corporation yet again. Some folks just don't seem to get the message, but it looks like they finally meant it this time, winning the first 2 days, but the Hutton Old Sweats waded in and took the next 3 to leave us needing only 1 more day to win. Again. Alvin hasn't given up on Avic yet, and despite it beginning to smell a little, keep plugging away until he cocks his leg on it and ignores it like a pile of steaming bio-waste. Barnard's Star is 4th from bottom on 38, hey-ho. It's got a little bonkers in Wolf 25 as they have not only got themselves a dose of blight, they've had it so long that it's matured into a nice blue vein cranberry stuffed famine. Ship agronomic treatment into the large pads at Bonkers and chuck in a few mince pies, as the Bonkerites are going to get a bit famished in the days to come. Hanky's other fiefdom, Kakari, is suffering from an infrastructure failure, so ship in water purifiers and or power generators to get the systems, yes you heard that correctly, back online. At the overachieving end of the Hutton systems table, we have only 4 systems above 60%, 2 of which are over 70. Snuggles is having a second go at expanding Hackle, and soon we'll find out what we could have won. Priorities this week are, if you want to truck something, try boosting Epsilon Indy and Ross 671. Relieve the blight in Wolf 25 by shipping in agronomic treatment and then food to relieve the pending famine. Ship some stuff into Kakari so that it works. If you want to shoot something, dare I say it, but brush up on your anti-Xeno skills.
Apology, officer.
Yeah.
I need to make an apology.
You better make an apology. No, don't bother.
No, it's in my
Don't
head.
bother, you'll only do it again.
I know.
Whatever
In my
it
head,
is, you'll just-
I had coloured that in the right colours, but obviously, being colourblind and not having any
It all
crayons,
looks like the right colours.
it all looked the same.
All
And I had-
the colours look like
yeah,
the
I
right
know.
colours.
They're all purple.
Colouring under fire is frowned upon.
Yes. Well, luckily I'm not under fire today because I've taken a break from helping Witherspoon destroy the Thargoids, but I'm back.
Nice.
And Lithobreaker's back. Both of us are back.
I'm back.
Yes, hello, Lithobreaker. How was your flight back?
Oh, don't ask.
Was it? Ours was about 10 hours, and I'm still a little bit jet lagged.
Yours was 10 hours.
Yes.
10 hours.
It was 11 there, 10
Mine?
back. Yeah.
Mine was an 8 a.m. flight out of Las Vegas, which was a 5.5-hour flight into Boston, followed by a 3-hour layover, followed by an 8.5-hour flight into Brussels, which turned into a 9.5-hour flight and a landing in fog, followed by a we've just got time to make our connection. Oh, don't worry, the plane we're getting onto hasn't even got here yet. It's delayed in London. Followed by, they found us another plane, that's great. Mad rush across the airport to find that the gate was already closing when the entire mob of passengers, all of us, got there, followed by climbing onto another plane, which they had to bus us around the tarmac to get to, which was then about to take off when they told us that Manchester Airport was closed.
So that's like a standard Apex journey then, just
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. It goes round and around the planet a few times, nosedives towards the settlement, and then bails out and flies you back to base.
Yeah.
Anyway,
My return journey was 23 hours from getting up to finally getting home.
It took me 9 hours to get home, and I was only in Glasgow.
Yeah, I was actually really lucky.
Yeah, but
you
were
plane
walking.
Was delayed.
I might as well.
That's because you didn't want to leave because you were in Glasgow. That's what that's been.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
couldn't wait
Don't
to
feel
get.
like that,
Couldn't wait to
Glasgow's-
get out. It was like the last train out of Saigon.
Yeah. That's normally the Kilmarnock train when it's leaving. After
Machine
the
gun and the
shop shut.
locals.
Well, see, on the way out on our flight, we had a mostly empty plane, so it's like pick a row, pick another row, lie down on it. On the way back, it was shoulder to shoulder, squeezed in. Yes. So yeah, and unfortunately, I don't know about your body clocks, but my body clocks don't adjust very well to going to Beagle Point. And when you go to Beagle Point, you still think it's morning, so you wake up at the wrong time, you go to sleep at the wrong time. It's
There's
just
palm trees at Beagle Point, I've seen.
the palm trees. What?
There are palm trees at Beagle Point, I've noticed.
There were palm trees at Beagle Point. Well, yeah, I wasn't going to show the holiday snaps because they're holiday snaps, but yes, there were palm trees. But
Cubus, I think.
well, shall we rather than talking about my holiday? I might talk about my holiday in a bit, but it was
In
was
case
good
we
fun.
need to fill in
I
somewhere.
scanned some of those palm tree looking
Tubus.
things. Yeah, whatever they are.
Tubus.
I scanned some of them, took them in, and get 7.5 million credits for it.
Bloody hell.
Space
All that
leafers.
bamboo.
Tuba.
Yeah.
Space
No,
bamboo.
like a
yeah,
bassoon
well,
to
they
me.
look like space palm trees to me. I don't know what they are.
Well, whatever they are, they're the ones that look like crumpets. Or no, those are different ones.
No, these ones had like big, tall trunks like trees, and then kind of leafy bits on the top like a palm
Like
tree.
hairy
Oh,
bamboo.
yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, the hairy bamboo. That's the one.
Hairy bamboo. Yeah. Right.
I
Well,
went to school with him.
hairy bamboo. Yes.
Hey, hairy bamboo.
That was just when he lifted his kilt. Anyway,
Oh,
Those knees.
that's just a horrible mental image. Talking about horrible mental images, there was a live stream. Was there a live stream?
The what?
The what?
it
think there
actually
was.
was, but
Hey.
was there?
Let me see. I might have. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can pull up on the screen for the benefit of our listener who's listening on the radio station.
You know you can.
Oh, that one. No, yes, that one. There we go. There were some people on a sofa.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. Well,
But
it's
the-
not come up yet, but
There's a Christmas jumper. There's some tinsel and holly and.
there were two Christmas jumpers if you look carefully.
There was one Christmas jumper and one Halloween jumper.
That's lightsabers, and is it Halloween? It's got snowflakes on it.
No, the
The
lightsabers
one with the bald
is
guys
a
wearing.
Christmas
Yeah,
jumper.
Arthur. No, which bald guy? Arthur's definitely wearing a Christmas jumper. The guy on the right, who's
That's Mr.
Paul
Krauser.
wearing a
Paul
Halloween
Krauser.
t-shirt.
Crowther.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's getting a wee bit cooked by the fire there. You can see.
Yeah,
he's-
that's
he's
right.
noticed
Wait
that.
till Dav sits in front of it later when
Yeah.
we're doing the quiz. He's got
It needs a
proper
caption that says
roast
"This is
chestnuts.
fine," doesn't it?
Yeah.
Next
It's
to
a good job that it's a good job that Dav has got his tech support asbestos underwear on. That's all I can say.
well, yeah, from the other picture when they were all in there. But yeah, so there was a live stream Christmas festive special. It was a sort of funny mix of this is what's going on now. I mean, basically they nicked our show, they stole our Galnet News
I don't know.
Digest.
I don't know what's going on with the holly at the back of the sofa.
Oh, is that her name?
No, the plant with the berries.
Oh, the hot.
That can't be comfortable.
That's I've scanned that on a planet. I've seen that before.
Yeah.
You notice they're all sitting forward apart from Mr.
Is it a
Crowther, who
tuber?
clearly likes
Is it a
those kind of
tuber?
things. Yeah.
It's definitely an invasive species, though, because it creeps further and further over his shoulder as the show goes on.
So my attention there was constantly. I was waiting for the conversation about a chieftain, an alliance chieftain, to come up because on the table is a fish and a stick. And at the last live stream, the debate was whether fish sticks were better than a chieftain. So it was a visual gag that they never used. Anyway.
Well, no,
I've just
you
made all
got
that
it.
up.
I mean, it was clearly designed just for you.
Well,
So by fish sticks, you mean fish fingers?
Are you sure it wasn't a red herring?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I know it's a bit yellow for a red herring, but
Oh,
yeah,
I thought it was a
know fish
banana
sticks
for
stick
scale.
perfectly.
I
Yeah,
don't know what
it's
fish
a-
sticks are.
Yeah. So
we used
yeah,
to have fish sticks years ago. Before fish fingers.
They're like crab sticks.
No, they're like fish fingers, but wider.
right.
No, fish sticks are like crab sticks that have never seen a crab. You know, like all crab sticks.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. Is that like hedgehog flavoured crisps that aren't made with real hedgehogs?
They're not? Really?
No.
No.
Lies, just
But
lies.
prawn cocktail crisps that Cecil reminds me regularly that aren't made with cocktails. Yeah.
Somebody's saying.
Oh, you're doing it wrong then.
It was a gift of Rini, I believe. So it must have been Rini who's given them the fish in the stick.
Well, I was thinking, is this a DIY sushi set?
No, because it's next to a candle that'd cook it.
Well,
yeah,
true. Well, they got a log fire as well too.
Real candles by the looks of things as well.
Right. Anyway,
they were
lots
all
of festive
flickering in
PJs. No fur trim, no reindeers. Paint jobs. There were paint jobs.
Not pajamas. Yes. No,
yes.
Paint jobs. So.
Paint jobs.
Well,
what
drops
would you
on
give
tonight,
for a
haven't we?
festive pyjamas? Snowfall Holly PJs.
What's that? You got Dropsy tonight?
Dropsy. Well, we've got Dropsy. They had different Dropsy.
They had Snowfall Dropsy. We got Icicle Dropsy.
Oh, right, we got Icicle Dropsy. They got Snowfall Dropsy. So the first one was the Type 9 Snowfall Holly, which is a Type 9 with snowflakes on it. No comment about the community, but snowflakes are in. Especially
on a W on it as well. Look,
there's a big W. Yes, there is. It's for really large. I mean, yes.
Wipe 9.
Yeah, Wipe 9. Then they've got the spiky one, the Anaconda Type 9. Now that looks more like throwing stars to me.
Anaconda Type 9.
The Anaconda Type 9, yes, that one.
Yes. That one, yes.
The green one. It's got throwing stars on it. Those definitely.
It is a combat ship.
It's a combat ship, yeah.
Throwing stars, aren't they?
And yeah, so if you watch the countdown intro on the way in, you could have half of them.
They were like 15 minutes and they're yours.
Half an Anaconda paint job is yours. Well, talking about, obviously, they've also got special advent calendar. You can have 100 arcs just by logging in, kind of. So if you haven't logged in this evening, make sure you log in to get your 100 arcs.
Oh, yeah.
And they've also...
The golden chrome paint jobs are on sale in the store again.
Yeah,
you know how they add, each day they'll add a couple of paint jobs.
But they've also been putting on sale the golden and shiny and crispy ones, and I didn't know if it was golden, goldish, or gold, and didn't know if it was chromed or chromium. Yeah, but
I didn't notice so much. What I'm hoping for, I wish they would bring back is the black white skeletal kind of wireframe ones again, because they were out years and years ago, and if you got them, you got them. If you didn't get them, you'll never see them again.
Yeah, they were. The original release of the wireframes, they did state at the time they were limited edition, one time only.
Yes,
right. So I'm not sure they will ever bring them back.
I've got the wireframe Thargoid on mine. Ooh.
I haven't got that. I've got a couple of the gold wireframes though.
Yeah, the gold wireframe were not limited edition in the same way as the gold the golden skins. Yeah, so.
Yep.
So but
we've got some. We've got them as well. But all the people listening and watching at the moment are getting these ones.
Which Dropsy?
The Snowfall Icicle ones, which is a Crate Phantom with throwing stars, a Diamondback Explorer that's just white, I think, and a different coloured Type 9 with a W. Actually, the Crate Phantom's got a W on it as well. It looks like Wario from that other game, you know?
It looks like the W from Wayland Yutani.
It does
W from Wayland Yutani. It does, yes.
But that's a yellow W, isn't it?
Well, no, but you can have yellow snow, but don't eat it.
Actually, one of the guys when I was away on my trips,
that tasted like lemonade.
Was wearing. Actually, the sound engineer in one of the studios was wearing a Wayland Yutani top, and we did give him some kudos for that one. So yeah. Yeah. So yes, if you're watching now, and you have to watch for a little bit, so you have to watch for a few minutes to get one of them, and then lots of minutes to get another, and then 2 hours to get another. We're not going to go on for 2 hours. I think it's cumulative though, so it sort of adds up as the weeks go by. This is now our 3rd week of doing drops. Was it 1 week was wrong? No, 2nd week, 3rd week. Oh, I've been away for too long. Basically, it was for a few weeks. The first week we stuffed it up, and then the 2nd week we got it right, and so yeah.
Yeah, it's the 2nd week.
And I think there's one more. Go on.
Mine stopped working on the stream this afternoon. I tried reloading it, but it didn't work. But I'm happy to say my Diamondback Explorer skin is now downloading.
We can possibly talk. I don't know. I can just show my holiday snaps at the end until everybody's got their drops. Maybe I have no idea.
Hurry up,
Yeah,
check
so
for
we can,
God's sake.
at the end we can pretend we're listening as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant.
So lots of PJs, Snowfall Icicle PJs. Then there was a chair. They gave away a chair.
There was that white gaming chair.
Oh, yeah,
is it
Sally's
Noble
one.
Normal.
chairs?
Yeah, noble.
And it had the Elite Dangerous Odyssey, so the EDO, so that very simplified logo, like the one you've got on your varsity jackets.
Oh yes. Well, I might have to put that one up as what I did on my holidays.
Yeah. So it was won by Matt, and nobody posted the name, so it was Mad something. Well, I don't know.
Mad King Crumb?
Anyway.
I don't know.
I can't remember. It's like Mad Hatter something. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
Somebody won it, though.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it
It
wasn't
wasn't
even
me.
any of
Who
us.
cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done to them. But they are. I'm sitting in one of them at the moment. Not one of those ones. I'm sitting in a black one.
Move.
Yeah, which was very
Has
kind.
it got a very bright light above it, and somebody asking you
It's
questions?
easier to cover up the
There
stains.
are 4 lights. No, 5. Oh no, I've got it wrong, haven't I?
Yes.
There are
It's
some
like
lights.
Cecil's a bit of a mastermind when it comes to drinking, isn't he? He started to
Yeah, Cecil
finish.
thought there were 7 lights.
Yeah, it's just there are too many lights. Turn them off. It's too bright.
Somebody has suggested that, let's see, they suggest it might have been Mad_Seeker.
Possibly.
It could
That was
well
Manny
be.
M suggested
I just
that.
need to pay more
First time
attention.
chatter.
I'll get lines from Flossy. I must pay attention watching the live stream. I must pay attention.
I must.
watching the live stream.
What? Hey.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
That
Right.
makes 2
Sorry, I
of us.
wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I
to
was just about to say. So, the other thing there, we'll shameless charity plug coming
Oh,
up.
I'm going to change the picture. Hang on. Da-da-da-da. There we go. Change picture.
Well, so I am going to just copy link.
Yeah. Thargoids again. I mean, we've got Thargoids on the brain at the moment, but this is a different kind of Thargoids, isn't it? It's
Yes. What are you laughing at, Flossy?
this video.
Oh, we're not playing the video.
Oh, aren't you? Oh.
Well, hang on a second. What was that?
Well-
Not playing the video. Hang on a second. We need a quick straw poll around those people watching. If I was to play the video, how much money are you going to donate for me to turn it off? I'm going to do exactly the same as they did. I mean, I've got it here. I've got it lined up. It's entirely up to our listener. The yeses versus the nos.
He's not got it lined up. He's He's getting you to do this so that he can buy himself time to get it lined up.
Yes.
Type
Exclamation mark.
No, you see, it's
in
there.
The, chat.
You say I haven't got it lined up. It's there.
He's only got the intro lined up. Don't believe him.
Yes.
Not a word. Well, there's nobody commenting. See, if they don't comment and they don't donate something, somebody's got to donate something or I'm going to play it. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a countdown. Thargate. Flossy, I mean, you were in that. You had a starring role. Your jaw looks a little unhinged a little bit in places.
Oh, everybody did.
Festa says you're going to have to pay me to watch it again. No, Festa, you're going to have to pay the charity to stop me doing it. Or somebody will, quick.
So the last supporter donated money 2 hours ago. So we're waiting until that turns into 2 minutes ago. Or we're just going to
Just play it on loop until then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we'll lose our listener, I think.
Well, we might lose the listener.
Both
Well,
of them.
Yeah, but but the listener would get the drops.
Well, put it this way: if there hasn't been a donation by the time we get to the about to announce Flossy's bit, I'm going to play it and then do Flossy's bit. So how about that as a deal?
Let's face it, Jim,
Don't care
that's
what
why
it is.
most of them are
Find
watching.
the pennies down the sofa for Thargate, which is a special effect, and obviously special effect. We all know special effect. Well, those of you who don't, go and look up specialeffect.org.uk because they do awesome stuff for people who need extra assistance flying spaceships.
And in the words of Fanny Longburns, just send us your effing money.
Well, something like that, yeah. And if it's plenty, you might get a lovely thank you from Baz and Ali, who we haven't heard from for ages. We need to catch up with Baz and Ali at some point. But yes, it was LCU. Tokuso did the lyrics and music, and as far as they claim, it was a large cast of D-listers. Dave listers. Okay. Smegheads then. What they mean is smegheads. Flossy, you're a lister, not a Dave lister. Or a D-lister. And the title of it was a very bad pun. It was
Yes.
What was it?
Feed the World.
No.
Flee from Sol.
Flee from Sol. Yes.
Flee from Sol.
Yeah, very, very fun. Yeah. So give them credits now.
Didn't the Thargoids sing "Feed the Thargoids"?
Yeah, well, we are. Our corpses, probably.
Yes.
Judging by.
It's already in the chat.
Oh, you have. Right, let's have a look.
Yeah.
No, last one was 2 hours ago that I can see.
Yeah,
So
still
it
is,
looks
yeah.
like you're going to have to sit through it, listener.
And retired Navy reckons he's already contributed, so
Okay, well,
it should come through on his speakers.
Yeah, just stick your fingers in your ears. Well, we don't have Amelia this week, which means nobody's going to have to stick their fingers in their ears at the end of the show as much as they would do normally. Anyway, let's talk more about the live stream. There were guests.
Ooh.
Yes.
There were guests on the sofa.
We've been raided.
We've been raided? My goodness.
Raided.
A party of 18. I remember party 4.
Flush the stash.
TWH24. Hello, TWH24, and your party of 18. Could we post a link to the charity in the chat? Well, yeah, we can do.
We already did.
Well, do it again.
I'll
They've
do it.
they've
I'll do
just
it again.
turned up. There we go.
There you go.
There we go. justgiving.com/page/Thargade with an A instead of an O. Right, there were guests on the Frontier sofa. Shall I go back to... let's go back to the sofa picture. No, that's a type 9. Look, there's a sofa. So where Mr. Crowther is sat there were guests. It was Hannah and Ben again. Evil Ben, who's been writing a story behind the Thargoids destroying 208 systems, and Hannah, who's heavily involved in egging him on and doing all the hard work, as far as I can tell, creating all the narrative. I think Hannah's a designer, actually implementing the things that Ben talks about or
And
writes
it's
about.
Hannah's first job.
Hannah's doing a cracking job.
It's imagine the first job you've ever had being there.
Yeah. Well, they look back over the year and all the marvellous positive things like happened, like Aegis, Salvation going boom, Protest Wave going boom, the Tharg War going boom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to. Somebody at some point is going to have to break it to Hannah that it's going to be all downhill from here.
Well, 208
So you know-
systems under Thargoid control from 0 a matter of weeks ago. Don't say we didn't warn you. If you didn't hear the warnings, then you need to go back to media.forthemug.com and catch up with previous episodes of Hutton Orbital Radio Live, where we told you what was going to happen. Which was doom. Anyway, there was a quiz. Community managers versus the...
Dev estatus. And the
Yeah.
CMs couldn't come up with a name, so they were the community managers.
Yes,
In best only connect fashion.
they fell at the first hurdle because when it came to the community managers who asked the quiz to happen, appointing a quiz master, they appointed somebody from, let me guess, the community management team.
No, that would be somebody who's partial.
Oh, right. So it would be Dav from the dev team?
Well, the other picture shows you.
The other, I'm going to switch forwards to the other picture. I'm now going to have to
Quiz,
go past
quiz.
type 9,
Quiz.
type anaconda, typing error, typographic. Oh, there we go. There they all are. So in the centre of the picture there is Dav.
You see what I mean about somebody's nuts roasting on an open fire? Chestnuts.
Well,
Just
yeah,
apples.
but he's immune to everything. That's a special
There you
suit.
go.
And I think there's Derrin to his left, and I can't remember the other two names. I'm sure.
Tom Kuehl
Yes.
in the middle, and the other chap is the sound guy. And I can't remember
goodness.
his name.
That's very rude of us to forget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But he does the sound for the game.
He does.
They do all have smashing jumpers, though, don't they?
They do, yeah.
And to announce the results, I think the apology officer, you were keeping score, weren't you, during that one?
What?
It's in the
Just
script.
doing what
Just
one?
read it.
Oh, yeah. It was 7-5 to the community
Oh, no,
managers.
you've
I
got-
knew it was 7-5.
got to
from
No,
watching it.
wrong way around. It was 7-5 to the...
Dav's Dev 7.
It's right there on the page.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do it in
And
a
5 to the community managers.
Yeah, and they
Dav.
had... I did notice they had their stream decks on the desk, and they had sort of special effects for the,
Yeah,
the two...
they did say the only real loser was human dignity.
Yeah, because obviously they had a pew-pew noise and the big honk. Unfortunately, my
Yeah.
deck's got this one. And this one. So, yeah, that would be our quiz noises, I suppose. Flossy's quiz team were versus the news team or something. I don't know. So there was a special treat during the show there. They had a pre-recorded section between Sally and...
Lord Bruben. El Presidente.
Yeah, I
founder
thought-
of
The
Rex.
man with the jumper and
I
the
thought
jumpers and the
he
mugs.
was shy and retiring.
Yes.
Well, he's still actively engaged.
Yep.
It's really cool that because
Yeah.
you don't get to do all the boring stuff. You get to do the fun
Exciting stuff.
Bits.
Well, you see, this is something we found when we went to see them actually in the office in the design floor. That I think I've said it before. He has this great big boardroom for doing businessy kinds of things, and then a tiny little desk with a laptop down in the development area. And as far as I could tell, the place where he was most comfy and confident was at his tiny little desk with his laptop in the middle of the devs. So I think for him, it's actually a step back to where he wants to be.
It's the best way.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Anyway,
This is the way.
then Sally was showing off her new 2023, or is it 3309 range of clothing?
Well, she was,
Oh,
but before that,
I missed that bit.
Lord Brubin, Commander Braben,
Yes.
gave a shout out for various things, and I know Flossy got a shout out. He was saying how good the community was with your
From him?
rats, and yes,
Oh, I missed that bit.
Oh, you were personally
what was that about
name
paying
dropped.
attention?
Yeah, I'm sure you were. Yeah.
Well, they were talking about the moderators on the
Oh, yeah, they mentioned
on the forums.
That was Sally, though, wasn't it?
Hutton got 2 mentions. Sally called out Too Hot, Too Messy
Yes.
for basically being mad.
There was a bit of banter a bit of chat about the Hutton mugs as well, wasn't it?
There was a bit, yeah, and David had his personalised mug on the table. There was a Hutton mug there and a buckyball mug. But the David started talking about Elite 2. When was Elite 2? It was like
94, something like that.
Yeah. And there was effectively a Hutton run in Elite 2.
Well,
Sorry,
it
wasn't it?
Proxima was
Proxima
in
had a
there.
station,
Yeah, no,
yes.
Proxima was where Proxima is now then, which is 0.22 light years from the jump point.
Yeah.
And it had a station. It was a full Coriolis station out at where Hutton is now.
Yeah.
Back then, but we've obviously downgraded since then. But yes, he was saying, aha, but it was always there back in the day. Yeah.
And we were talking about LaveCon, and Sally was saying it was great when she goes to LaveCon because of the LaveCon retro gaming room, and you've got the
And
BBC
my
there.
BBC Micro, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And David was saying how he says it takes you back. He says that's a lovely laptop, but it's not quite a BBC, because they're so simple and so.
He did say they were very special, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a trip down memory lane for him over the last.
I think Sally was talking
38
about her
years.
Amiga she used to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David was talking about the Acorn Atom he started on.
Oh,
Back
absolutely.
when, as he put it, you were required to have a soldering iron.
I think at one point as well, Sally did reveal that she was born a year and a day after the original Elite came out.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Or before.
So,
No, she's 2 days out from me, I think. So yes, I was one. We bracket. I think the two of us bracket the release, the date, not the year, obviously, because I'm much older than that. Sally isn't, but we actually bracket the date. I think she's the day before and I'm the day after Elite release day, or vice versa, something like that.
So if anybody's interested in taking a stroll down that same memory lane, I'm just going to post a link in the chat. I'm not going to talk about it much, but it's a nice little documentary that was made about the making of the original Elite back in 1984.
oh yeah.
So if you want to copy that link and watch it at your leisure, not now,
No.
show to listen to.
Yeah.
No, you got us to watch.
It's quite
And
good
Lord
fun.
Braben did mention about. He said they should have brought his Hutton mug down with him.
Well, there's one on the table.
Yeah, he forgot to lift his.
Yeah, he
So-
didn't. He didn't touch it, did he?
No,
No,
that
he
wasn't his
did
one.
say-
He didn't bring his.
He did say he should have brought his down from. Yeah.
From his tiny desk.
Sally could have mentioned her pink one, which is unique.
Well,
There is
yeah,
only
she
one
could
pink
have
cotton
done.
mug.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
One pink mug.
one pink mug. It's a single pink mug in the world.
Oh right, okay.
The galaxy, sorry. So yes, sweatshirts and things, merch.
Merch,
Merch.
lots of merch. Yeah.
What was the something Harmer rum? Was it Harmer rum?
Harmer rum.
Right.
And
I have
flower
got-
power.
I never got to see the merch. I missed the merch.
There was a flower power and sort of Thargoid sweatshirt, and a Harmer rum. But there's stuff in the merch store apparently. I think, but that sweatshirt was enormous. I could have camped out in that.
It was big
Yeah,
as
it was
Sally.
sort of
Yeah,
twice
I think
the
they
size
did,
of
they did
Sally.
say something about that. Yeah, they gave the biggest thing to the smallest person.
That'd be just big enough for me.
You couldn't actually see Sally behind it holding it up. It was.
That'd be good to have some new merchandise because all my t-shirts are all worn out now.
Now the next thing, I still it just refuse. Oh no, it's there. Right, it took forever to process in Google, but the next thing is actually there in the Banter folder.
The next thing's there in the Banter folder.
Yeah,
The next thing is in the Banter
the thing
folder.
in green there.
Hey, well, hang on a second. I'm switching between screens now. The MP4.
Yes,
Yes, yeah. That's definitely in there, and it is programmed in.
excellent. 'Cause it
As
does
are the
now-
other bit that you
does
mentioned,
now-
of course.
Does now work. I took a screenshot of it just in case it didn't, which is also there. But you can use the video instead of just the.
Well, let me. I need to hide this bit off the screen, and there is a little bit of video. So, yeah. Well, do you want to sort of do an intro into why this happened or how it happened?
Well, you know all about that, but the reason you weren't here last week was because you've been doing your other job.
Doing my other job. Well, it wasn't. Was it a job? Was it a holiday? I don't know. Well, I can probably put up a picture just to intro it. Let me just see. No, it's not those ones. Those are all the. Here we go. Look, there's Type 9s again, and there's people. Yeah, we went to LA with HCS voice packs to record the Gamma voice pack with Claudia Christian, who's on screen at the moment, who was
That's
awesome.
a Type 9.
No, it's not. That's us with Claudia. Now, are we past the watershed? Here's the question.
Yay!
Yes, we are.
Retired Navy 2.
You know they don't have a watershed on the internet. That's just a television thing.
Is it a fake television thing?
Yeah.
Well, we did get a couple of nice recordings, and there's a couple that we've not really played. I don't know how loud this is going to be, but Claudia did do us a little special one just for the show, which I'm going to hit a button on, see if this works.
Hutton Orbital? A space station in the middle of nowhere. Sounds like my kind of place.
Yay.
Especially for Hutton, and also, and I'm just trying to find the abuse I got. Do you think it's right for me to play the abuse or not?
I think it's justified.
Now, did I send that one to you or not? I can't remember.
Yes, you did.
You definitely sent it to me.
I think it's okay.
I did. Did I send it to you, Apology Officer?
Pretty sure you did.
Yeah, you posted it in the place.
I'm pretty sure you sent it direct to me.
Well, there's a
as well.
5-second one here. I can't remember what it is. Shall I just hit play on this one? I'm going to just apologise
Yeah, let's
now.
see what happens.
It's one of them.
Hutton Orbital?
No, we've
Nope.
done that one. No, I clearly didn't. Was it in the? It may have been in the other channel. Let's have a look. But anyway, we went to see Claudia to do the Gamma voice pack, which is fantastic.
Hutton Orbital?
Yeah, she burnt through, I don't know, it was something like 4 hours of script in 3 hours. And, I know what it was. I've got a copy here, actually. And at some point, we were asked a very important question by Claudia. It's like, well, I heard you guys were occasionally a bit sweary. You're Brits, after all. You're a bit sweary, aren't you guys? Where's all the bad language? So I said, well, look, we hadn't met you yet, and we were a little bit cautious about whether you minded swearing at all.
And what did you say? Bleep, yeah.
Well, no, this is what came back.
Are you always this cautious? What the fuck is wrong with you, David? The fuck?
You didn't hear that. Didn't happen.
Oh, I heard it.
No.
Heard what?
Yeah. No, that was an imitation. Somebody was doing an imitation of...
Oh, yeah. Was that you?
That was Atris 5060 doing an imitation of Claudia.
Yeah, that
wasn't
was the Atris 5060 version.
Why
So-
are you so cautious,
Yeah.
David? What the fuck?
Anyway, so apparently I was supposed to have done an R-rated version of it. Anyway, so we went to see Claudia's studio. She burned through the script. It was fantastic. Loads of recordings. Some of them top secret. We can't reveal, but most of it's for the Gamma voice pack, which we're working on. Then we took a day off and we went to visit the shuttle Endeavour. And Frontier asked me nicely whether I'd wear the streaming partner's jacket while stood in front of a spaceship, which I duly did. Which was, walking in that room was just a bit of a wow moment. Yeah, that I had no idea it was in that hangar. Paul was just doing it. David, come here, go in this hangar. Walk in.
You cross your arms and cover the logo, don't you?
Well, yeah, I've got other ones. Then we went off to another studio. We went off to Malibu to catch up with the legend that is Mr. Brent Spiner, also known as Vega from the voice packs, also known as Commander Data from Star Trek. And I have to say, oh my goodness gracious me, I didn't expect his bit to be the highlight of my trip, but A, what a gentleman, and what a really warm, friendly character. B, what a voice. Genuinely, wow on the guy's voice. And also, I gave him tongue twisters like I normally put in the scripts for us to read, and he just sailed straight over them without a pause. Consummate professional. There was nothing we could give him that would trip him up, and he was having great fun with very complicated lines. And I have to say, there was the studio in Malibu there. They record with the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Dua Lipa, and they had Pierce Brosnan in, and then they had us. And they were very accommodating and gave us wine and a charcuterie board while Mr. Spiner did his thing. And Claudia was wow, Brent was wow, and of course we did go and see Mr. Shatner as well. There's a signed script from Mr. Spiner on screen. We then went to studio and saw Mr. Shatner. Yet again, he's 90. You'd never know he was 90. To look at or to hear, and you hear this voice, and you just sitting there thinking, "Oh my goodness gracious me!" Just incredible listening to the guy work, and then this segues nicely, hopefully, into... Oh, no, actually, before I move to the bit we're segueing into, we did catch up with the guy behind Voice Attack itself, Gary, who is the brain behind the actual program Voice Attack, on which everything's built. And he and his wife, Jo, came out, and we went to visit lots of Star Wars stuff over at Disney, and it was a joy to meet him. He is a genuine legend of programming. That tool is awesome. It couldn't do any of the stuff we do without Gary's fantastic work. So it was awesome to see him. But yeah, there they go, some more spaceships. I'll go back to the beginning, but it culminated in a special treat for Frontier because they couldn't come and join us. Boo. Now, one of the Frontier team, everybody, is a bit of a fan of Shatner. Hands up.
There's one. I saw one with your logo there.
Yeah, and so we discovered back at, was it LaveCon earlier in the year, that Arthur is a bit of I think they call him a Shatnophile. He really, really is a huge fan of Mr. Shatner.
You say that one.
Yeah. And we did say to him, look, if you can get a day off, get on a plane, come join us, you'd be welcome to come and join us. And he could, because of the Thargoids, he couldn't make it. So we got into studio, and we... asked Mr. Shatner very nicely if he'd record a few extra lines. Now, I've got the video lined up, so let me just turn this one off. And so we sent them to Bruce. We didn't send them to Arthur. We sent them to Bruce and said, look, secret, during your Christmas show, could you do us a bit of a favour and give Arthur a present from us? So right at the end of the show, this happened.
Thank you, as always, to Mike. Well, it's your show, so but.
We're not co-hosts. No, we've got co-hosts written down, but I don't believe in that. We're all there.
I guess for me, this one is really. I was going to say it at the end anyways, but so thank you to my team who are incredible and remain incredible, and to Bruce at home. As much as I give you some stick, and I will continue to give you stick, we can't do what we do without the amazing team that we have. I'm very grateful to have you work alongside me. There's nothing we couldn't have achieved this year without all the hard work you all put in. So thank you to all of you. It's incredible to work with. It's a privilege to work with you all.
Well, we are mad grateful to have you, Arthur, which is why, before we say goodbye,
what?
We got a little treat for you.
Oh, God.
A little surprise for you. Adam, go ahead. Take it away.
A little bird tells me you're captain of a fine vessel. Take care of your crew.
Oh my God! Oh my! Can I play it again? Is that
Arthur,
right? Is that really what
a little bird tells me you're captain of a fine vessel. Take care of your crew.
Oh, wow.
And that is with big thanks to, obviously, HCS voice packs who have been out there filming, as you know.
That's incredible. I'm genuinely, touched. I thought I was going to get...
Your eyes are, watering over.
Yeah, can I hear that again, please? Just one more time.
Arthur, a little bird tells me you're captain of a fine vessel. Take care of your crew.
It's Captain Kirk! That is Captain Kirk talking to me! Thank you. HS, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
Does anybody think he was enjoying that just a little bit?
Just a wee bit.
Just a wee little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we did manage to get that line put in, and congratulations to Bruce and to producer Adam as well for sneaking it into the end of the show without putting it in their script and without showing him his face. I mean, if you're listening on the radio, you won't have seen his face there. If you were watching it on the live stream, his face was an absolute picture. But it was the least we could do. He's been a good friend to Hutton and to HCS and the community for quite a while now. We needed to give him a Christmas treat, so that was a Merry Christmas from everybody at HCS to Arthur and the team to remind him to look after his team. Right, well, should we go on to space news then? Real space news, not shuttles sitting on a planet.
One tiny little update. We need to say thank you to retired Navy IT1, Zemedelphus, and somebody called Mere Harkness for contributing money to Thargade.
Oh, but I wanted to push this button.
Yes.
I wanted to do this.
No, they were paying for you to play it.
You can't do it. You can't do it.
Yes, you got to do it. Yeah.
No, I put a very specific message in there saying, don't play the bloody video.
Okay, well, I can't then. You sure I can't just do this? Oh. No, okay.
You're clear. You said don't play the video. You can play the song. You can play the audio. That's fine.
So if I...
You probably find somebody else has covered the audio.
Right, well, look. Thank you very much for the generous donations for special effect. Yes, it achieved the intended purpose. I won't go any further than those first few bars, I promise. Anyway, so let's go back to the real space now. Artemis! Now, when I was last on the show, it had just gone up.
Yes.
And it was going out there and then round and round and then back again. And then,
yes.
Are we allowed to say that about rockets?
It gone up.
Yes.
Lifted
it was
off.
A successful launch.
Going up what?
Everything was nominal. Yeah. Now, it was sent up with Snoopy and Sean on board.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, Sean was here last week, but Sean's not here this week. Why?
This is different, Sean.
Did he spill his wine again?
No, apparently Snoopy and Sean, they were in different bits. One of them was on the service module, one of them was in the landing capsule, or the capsule bit. Snoopy, I think...
Yes.
Yeah. So
Snoopy's in the Orion, in the American bit, and Sean is in the service module, which is the European bit.
Which burns up on re-entry.
Yeah.
They did not...
I thought I could smell lamb.
Set fire to Sean. Oh.
I was trying not to say that, Chicks.
I'm not sure they were. I thought Sean was strapped into a seat, but I could be wrong.
No, that was
if any of our listeners find the internet
test dummies.
Quick and find out what happened to Sean up on the service module from Artemis.
Because Snoopy was floated about in the cabin.
Yeah, Snoopy was in the capsule. Yep. Sean was in the service module.
I thought Sean was strapped into a seat. Anyway,
if he was, it was on the service module.
But I'd rather be strapped into a seat wherever it was than bouncing around in the cabin at 9G or whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, I don't know about the service module, not if it went fire on the way back.
Well, it's designed to burn up on re-entry. Maybe NASA want no evidence that they had help this time. Oof.
Oh, no.
Set fire to the evidence.
Well, apparently the European Space Agency praised the performance of the service module. I'm just trying to read whether it's...
it's alive. What happened to Sean?
It's not a mission critical failure. They said that. Reduced power. I'm just trying to find out where's Sean. The Artemis 1 service module will end its mission about 40 minutes before splashdown when it separates from the crew capsule shortly before re-entry. It will burn up in the atmosphere with any surviving pieces falling into the Pacific Ocean west of Peru. He's gone to visit Paddington Bear.
So if anybody finds a Shaun the Sheep toy on the beach,
slightly singed,
a bit singed around about the ears. Yeah, you know what happened to it?
Zimmerman, who was in charge of it, in charge of Sean, says you cannot be sad when you accomplish your mission. Everything has a life. The end of the life is part of the life. As long as the life has been successful, it's a great success. So I'm happy about it. So
why didn't he go up in the bloody service module then?
It was Deleu. It was Deleu said, yes, they're very glad that they burnt Sean the Sheep. I don't like Deleu anymore.
Yes,
He's on the naughty list.
Yeah. Speaking of ESA, the European Space Agency, they have saved Rosalind Franklin.
They've what?
They've saved Rosalind Franklin.
But I thought Rosalind Franklin was a little bit old to be saved.
I thought she died in like the 90s or something.
Well, the Mars rover that's named after her, really.
Ah, right. No, I thought they were going to stick that. I mean, they weren't able to launch it because the Russians picked a fight with everybody, and then we couldn't get it up there. Oh, goodness knows.
Yeah.
And so no, that entire rover project mothballed and going into a museum. It would have been
not going into a museum anymore.
£1 billion, museum exhibit.
Well, they've received funding to design a delivery system. So we haven't delivered it yet, but it's not go straight to the museum, do not collect 200 quid, you know.
Yeah.
So there is a chance it'll go.
It's got to the next stage.
Yeah, but the trouble is, I mean, it's not going to until 2028. I mean, you think. I mean, I don't know what kind of processor's on Hubble these days, but they last went to visit it in like 1996 or something. It's probably got a 386 processor. So stuff gets designed, all right, designed very cleverly and, you know, in a Rolls-Royce way to last forever in space.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty old technology. So I'm just, don't know.
It only has to trundle about and send back pictures, though, doesn't it?
Well, I think rovers have to do a bit more than that these days.
Yeah, well, I've got a picture of it up on screen at the moment. It's got perfectly functioning solar panels, and they've managed to strap Johnny 5 to the top of it.
Yeah.
Johnny 5 is alive.
You can't send it up without a Johnny 5 on board.
And there's one of those sort of kitchen hoovers on the bottom, designed for, I don't know, kitchen hoovering.
Yes.
Debotting up the surface of Mars. And
because Spirit and Opportunity were... just had solar panels, you know, the two that went up. When did they go? In the 90s? I can't remember.
Well, yeah.
They were in the noughties. But the idea was...
Curiosity and Perseverance have both got radioisotope thermal generators, so they've got solar panels as well.
Yeah.
So if Franklin has only got solar panels...
But we don't know that it's only got solar panels.
Maybe we couldn't get hold of a flask of plutonium.
Well, we don't know that it's only we don't know that it's only got solar panels, do we?
Well, I'd have to read more about it, but
could have a couple of double A's as well.
Could do. Rechargeable double A's.
The biggest rubber band you've ever seen.
They are using that to launch it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, so moving on from that one, then there was another little article you posted in about... you can read the title of this one because,
The James Webb Space Telescope fingers galaxies.
It what?
It's been fingering galaxies. Well, it's been fingerprinting ancient galaxies.
Right. It's up on screen. GSZ13.0, GSZ12.0, 11.0, and 10.0 up on screen at the moment. Okay.
Yeah, so it's finding ancient galaxies and going, that's an ancient galaxy, that's an ancient galaxy.
A mere 325 million years after the Big Bang. Just 325 million, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually 325 million. It's not. It's not like the last time I was given ages out of galaxies. So it's finding some really old ones. It's gone that one. Yeah. Yes, you're looking back in time. That's 13 billion years back in time. Nearly 13.5 billion years. That's why it's a red. See?
Redshift. Anyway, well, that's that one. And then, excuse me, and I haven't got the picture for this one yet, but I will do in a second. Actually, I'm not going to because we've seen planets that look like this. Then we've got the Juno probe. Is about 80,000 kilometers from Io.
Yeah, it's going to do some fly past. I think the closest it said was about 1,500 kilometers.
That's outrageous. Yeah, no, Io is a volcanic moon of Jupiter.
It's the closest moon to Jupiter.
Yes, and because of it has a sort of a compressing, the gravity from Jupiter has some kind of sort of injecting energy into it by squeezing it and making it hot. Apparently it's described as a hellish, lava-strewn landscape, a bit like Cubicle 3.
Yes. Less hellish though.
That's not lava.
It's certainly glowing.
Burns like lava.
And then, yeah, that's after the curry night we had last Thursday.
But what they're saying is, as well, it originally, obviously, Juno went up to have a look at Jupiter. And it's got an instrument on board, I think it's like an infrared instrument, to help it see through the layers of cloud down into Jupiter's atmosphere. And they realised that when they turn it on the moons, it can see through the ice, and they're looking. It's looked at the big four, if you like, at Jupiter's moons. So it's looked at Europa and
Galilean, Callisto and Ganymede.
And I think it's certainly Europa. They're going to send a specialised probe up to have another look at Europa.
Well, here's
try and work out
the Clipper mission.
How warm the ocean is under the ice on there.
Well, here's the thing. Do you know how long ago Io was discovered?
400 years.
Well, either 5 hours and 30 minutes or 150,464 days ago. There you go. A long time. Galileo, yes. First spotted. Oh, look, there's a moon. And it's taken us that long
Mercury for a second,
to get to 80,000 kilometres away from it. So
I have actually, I've had the old telescope out, and, when I wasn't spying on the neighbours, I did have a look at Jupiter, just through like a wee National Geographic telescope, and you can see the two moons either side.
Well, you can often see just with a pair of binoculars. If you brace them against a window, you can sit in the warmth of your bedroom.
Yeah.
And you can often see
the reflections of your bedside lamp.
Yeah.
Well, you switch all that off, of course. Cuddle the radiator,
and then you can
have a look at the
binoculars.
Galilean moons if you're pointed in the right direction. Yeah. Usually south or southwest at the moment.
Wherever Jupiter is.
Well, it's southwest, I think, at the minute.
Southwest, southwest. I don't know.
Yes, but pretty impressive.
Let's have a quick look.
Ooh, shiny, I think, as they say.
Yes.
Very shiny.
Yeah.
And it's all happening in your lifetimes.
So they can see below the surface with this tool that they've got. So it's quite exciting.
Yeah. And then, okay, well, moving back to the year 3300, nearly 9. The too hot, too messy things going on. Obviously, Thargoids have interrupted the too hot, too messy, the delivery of the mugs, because somebody needs to go and stop them. Earlier this week it was Wotherspoon and Flossy and me, but lots of people have gone to stop them. So very few deliveries, but I think we might maybe have a winner from the last week. Who's got the drum roll? Anybody got a drum roll? There we go. It's Commander Luriant. Luriant. Congratulations, Commander Luriant. You have won yourself one genuine, honest to what's it, Hutton mug for your efforts in the Too Hot, Too Messy. Now, how does Commander Luriant go about claiming... What?
Can we just say to Commander Halcon, who I was watching earlier, you see, Hutton mugs do exist.
They do exist, yes.
They do actually exist.
And Luriant is going to have one in their hands at some point in the next few weeks, but only if... What do they have to do?
Email itookpart@huttonorbital.com.
They email itookpart@huttonorbital.com. And how do they prove that they're actually Luriant and not, I don't know, a retired Navy IT-1 in disguise?
You say, I'm Spartacus.
Well, you could try that one. Or you could include a screenshot from inside your cockpit showing your commander name.
They could do, yes. That would work.
Is that like two-factor authentication?
What's rarer than a real-life Hutton mug? Yeah. I don't know. Probably pictures of what's at the heart of the maelstrom. There you go. That answers that question. Well, congratulations, Commander Luriant. Before I go to the Q&A session that we've got on this extended banter bit, I found the other sound.
Question for that.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yes.
I've got the other sound that was played at the end of the stream earlier.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
That one. I've got that one, which was a certain gentleman speculating about, there are lots of stations out there with famous names on it, like, I don't know, Bonkers and George Lucas and... Yeah.
Ridley Scott. But there was Leonard Nimoy.
Yeah, absolutely. But there was this one.
Frontier. They named the station after me. What a wonderful gesture. Wait a minute. That's a mistake, surely. It says Luke Skywalker Station. Who? Front.
Well, surprisingly, I did check, and there are many, many, many Shatner orbitals and Shatner stations. In fact, he's in there all over the place. So he does have a few stations, but yes. Right, should we move along then into the Q&A session?
Yes.
Who's going to do the Q and who's going to do the A? Are you queuing?
I can do... Well, what do you want to do the Q and I'll definitely do the A.
Okay, apology officer.
Yes.
What do anteaters play on their computers?
Oh, I know this one.
Arcade games.
Oh my!
Oh, I thought it was Tetris.
Aardvark. Yes. Flossie, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Are you going to make it stop? Make it stop. It hurts.
No, that gets you back for the video.
I want you to play the video.
The video? No, are they? I promised I would.
Are you going on strike,
I want you to
Flossy?
play Stargate. I'm on strike till you play Stargate.
You mean this one?
Yeah.
No, they donated specially for me not doing that. Yeah. Okay. Well, here we go. I'm going to play.
Only three of them. Only
You
three
got
of them.
a lot.
There's 56 in chat. The rest of them need to get their hands in their...
Well, yeah, somebody needs to. Well, this is a second warning. If nobody else does, I might have to do it, I don't know, after Flossie or something. Right, quick, let's go to Flossie's exciting, axe-filled CG News.
It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. It's Flossy. And the community goes.
Hello, Flossy here with this week's CG News. CGs over the last week, there've been a few. Following the two CGs starting last Tuesday and Thursday, a third one started on Friday, and a fourth one on Monday. These were for fixed AX multi-cannon and fixed AX missile racks. Enhanced AX Project AX multi-cannon turreted. The first CG completed around 21:45 on Wednesday, with 13,493 units collected. The Enhanced AX Project AX Missile Rack turreted. The second CG completed around 9:20 on Sunday morning, with 13,197 units collected. Enhanced AX Project AX Multi-Cannon Fixed. The third CG completed about 1940 UTC yesterday, with 13,295 units collected. All three weapons above are now available for purchase from all rescue ships. Enhanced AX Project AX Missile Rack Fixed is still ongoing. Another CG started today. Enhanced AX Project AX Multi-Cannon Gimbaled. Similar to the previous four CGs, this campaign is for a gimbal-mounted version of the Enhanced AX Multi-Cannon to be made available in both medium and large sizes. Alliance Democratic Network has agreed to process deliveries. Additional resources are requested to ensure that the new gimbal mounting system can withstand the same combat usage as other enhanced AX weapons. The project will run for 8 weeks. If the final target is met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately and the gimbal mount enhanced AX multi-cannon will be made available at all rescue megaships shortly after. To earn rewards, you must sign up as an active participant before delivering advanced catalyzers, copper, gallium, polymers and synthetic reagents to Wilson City in the Apala system. And that's it for this week's CG News.
Flossy told you what to do.
Thank you very much, Flossy. Now, I was just reading through the script here and wondering, did anything ever actually turn up? Or has Witherspoon too busy beating things up in his crate? As I haven't actually checked whether Galnet News actually made it to the studio this week.
Not today's, but there is one there from 2 days ago.
Yeah.
In the
I
usual
think Thargoids
place.
must have knocked the aerial off his ship.
Oh no, it's in the Banter place.
It's in the
No, it's in the usual place.
Not in the. So I'm going to have to.
You tell me when you're ready, and I'll do the intro. Right?
Right. Okay. Well, talk amongst yourselves for a second while I find the. Is it audio only or is it video?
Video.
There should be a video in the usual place.
Makes a fair drawing in.
Not in the usual place. That was my.
Yes, it is.
Oh, you moved it. You copied
it? So it has replaced the other one. Let me see, because I might, because I was planning on audio, but I haven't got audio. So if I,
It's from 2 days ago.
Yeah, but I've completely lost the button now that I've moved it. So just talk amongst yourselves while I find the video button.
The makes a fair thrown in, eh?
Yeah. Have you seen the price of bacon this week?
Really?
Oof.
Has it gone up again?
You're busy.
With
So
my
that's
knee.
No, my brain's working all on its own while I'm trying to find the.
Well,
the
that's
button here.
dangerous for a start.
It's very cold here.
Yeah. Oh, it's cold here. We're getting -9 tonight.
There's no kind of
-9 tonight.
Oh no, I'm still not getting it. You know.
There's some brass monkeys out earlier, but look for a
proper brass
welder.
monkeys.
Balls fell off.
Yeah.
Has Haxcom? No, I've got Haxcom here.
Have you?
Hang on, let's just see. Is it this one?
Commander Witherspoon here. He digests everything, so we don't have to.
No, it's not that one. That's Cecil.
No, it's not that one.
It's in the same place as the Kirk.
Yes, but I may have edited the thing to do.
Why don't you just go and manually get it then?
It's right there. I'm
Yeah,
looking
okay.
at it.
Hang on a second. There's probably a button for Galnet video. Hang on a second. I took it off because here it is. I think I have it.
There
it is.
Ready?
Are you ready? Right, I'll do the intro. And now, for two household favourites who will warm the cockles of your heart, it's Beetlejuice and Witherspoon with the Galnet News Digest.
Galnet News Digest, 13th of December 3308. We read the news, so you don't have to. In this week's news, we look at how dramatically the galaxy has changed in just 2 weeks and consider the future.
On the 29th of December, the first of the 8 rogue signal sources, or Stargoids, slammed into orbit around an ammonia world in Hyades sector FB-N B7-6, and we had some idea at last of what these mysterious moving lights might be. 4 more Stargoids have arrived, 2 on the 1st of December and 2 more on the 8th. It seems likely that the final 3 will all arrive on the 15th of December.
While the precise nature of the Stargoids remains obscured by a malevolent gassy cloud, it seems almost certain that these maelstroms, as they are now known, contained Thargoid motherships, or hive ships, which are acting as command bases for the invasion of surrounding systems. Almost instantly upon their arrival, Thargoids working for these maelstroms seized some of the systems near to the maelstrom, attacked others, and started scouting out yet more. Future expansion by the aliens will take longer. It seems it takes several weeks for new systems to be confirmed as invasion targets, and then several weeks for the invasion to gradually wipe out human starports and planetary bases, after which, if the Thargoids have not been repelled, the system falls under full Thargoid control.
The Thargoids will, unless we confront them, slowly and methodically take over the human-inhabited systems. We have a mechanism to fight back, and we now know that if we disrupt the work of the Orthrus in Thargoid alert systems, and if we fight Thargoids, bring in essential supplies, and evacuate refugees in Thargoid invasion systems, we can repel the aliens. They need to win every week to advance in a system. We just need to win 1 week to drive them out. The first system to have a Thargoid invasion repelled, HIP 23716, is anticipated to be returned to human control and a period of post-Thargoid recovery on Thursday. And the first system, where a Thargoid alert has been repelled, seems very likely to be HIP 20485. These will be the first two systems of the fight back against the Thargoids.
According to Xiaojin I, the one-time test subject D2 of Salvation and Azimuth Biochemicals, the Thargoids have come here as a direct consequence of the firing of the Proteus wave back in August, and they have come with a specific objective in mind. What that objective might be is not yet known, but former Aegis Director of Research Professor Albert Tesreau, together with engineers Ram Tar and Professor Palin, are undertaking research and may well need assistance. They're also researching the unclassified relics that are created by feeding Guardian relics to the Thargoid devices found inside many Thargoid structures. These relics may be a pointer to the newfound power of the Thargoids. It is likely that work will also be undertaken to investigate the maelstroms themselves. Are they now fixtures in the bubble? Or, if we can navigate through the caustic clouds and the shutdown fields, will we eventually be able to attack the Thargoid hive ships? Will we be able to drive them away?
At a more tactical level, engineers Liz Ryder and Zachariah Nemo have plans for at least 4 enhanced anti-Xeno weapons, a mixture of turreted and fixed, multi-cannon and missile racks. The first, the enhanced turreted AX multi-cannon, is already available at all rescue ships, and it seems likely that 2 more, the fixed AX multi-cannon and the turreted AX missile rack, will go on sale by the end of the week. These provide a good basis for all commanders to get involved in the fight, although Ramtar's Guardian hybrid technology weapons, which are available to be unlocked at Guardian Tech brokers, are considered to be preferable in many circumstances.
Can humanity learn to fight together as one against a common enemy? Concentrating efforts on just 1 or 2 systems per week has shown dividends this week, but how about the superpowers? All have made some limited effort to defend attacked systems, but it's hardly been a major factor in the progress of the war.
With the Empire in particular only willing to assist Imperial systems, it may be telling that the Citizens Chronicle has today published an editorial calling for the Empire to provide better support for independent systems. The Marlinist systems, for example, may well be at risk from Thargoid attack later in the week. There's little sign that Aegis is being reformed, and Azimuth Biotech, while providing an extremely capable Size 2 pre-engineered shard cannon, has been largely discredited. The future of the human-inhabited bubble may, once again, come down to the ability of independent pilots to organise themselves to work together against Thargoid expansion, until we can better understand what the Thargoids are trying to achieve.
And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News. We read the news, so you don't have to.
Thank you, Commanders Beetlejude and Wotherspoon. He said cockles. No, cockles. And now we go to someone whose voice alone puts the willies up us. No, I said puts the willies up. Oh, never mind. Could somebody please draw the curtains on Mia's booth? It's over to the Hutton Helper results, in audio only, thankfully.
Welcome to the Hutton Helper results. The Hutton Helper results are sponsored by the Hutton Helper, the only third-party resource to come with a 3-bar electric fire, in case it gets cold in the depths of space. This week, we have the following events: the Chilly at the Edge of the Galaxy Cup, the Imperial Cutter full of ice to warm the place up a bit tournament, the Bring Me All of the Crystalline Spheres Deja Vu Trophy, the Freeze in the Name of the Law Charity Shield, the Never Invade Alpha Centauri in the Space Winter, spectacular, and the Breaking the Ice on the Space Lava Award. So, don't lick anything metal, always wear a vest, and try not to breathe the air, it hurts. The Hutton Helper results are: J-Space jumped 49,000 light years to come first in distance travelled. Epaphus sold 123,000 tonnes of cargo. Montgomery Python is top mission runner this week with 299 mission points. Alex Zuno handed in 777,777,777 credits worth of bounties. Darth Chicken handed in 855 million credits of combat bonds, and Miet 11 delivered 4,011 people safely, more or less safely, to their various destinations. So, decals this week for Miet 11, J-Space or J-Space, Darth Chicken, Polian for systems visited, and Torquay Mouse for Own Mind. Please email itookpart@huttonorbital.com and arrange to collect your Hutton decal kit, which this week consists of a thermos full of soup, a cosy cardigan, and a thermometer where the mercury has frozen solid. There have been 5 Hutton runs in the last 7 days. They are Bandicoot at 1 hour 24 minutes and 10 seconds, Fantastic Mr. Fox 77 at 1 hour 24 minutes 38 seconds, Norbert Patinaud at 1 hour 24 minutes and 39 seconds, Steve King at 1 hour 25 minutes and 4 seconds, and Retired Navy IT1 at 1 hour 25 minutes and 13 seconds. There is a whole galaxy of stuff out there needing evacuated, unfriended, ejected, appointed, manhandled or woman-handled, smeared, deflected, irrigated, emphasised, sniffed, snuffled, postponed, hidden from, flipped, mistranslated to and from Spanish, chilled, mugged, ginned, wrapped up with a pretty bow, shipped, short, rescued, having their immersion ruined, battered and deep fried, repaired, destroyed, bought, sold, squeezed, inflated, burnt, frozen, liquidated, evaporated, smelled, licked, discombobulated, recombobulated, headbutted, rubbed, compressed, enveloped, strained, fermented, butherised with an S, interrobanged, upcycled, violently downcycled, disallowed then reallowed after consulting the VAR, smelted, frozen to the bones, loved, adored, cherished and probinated. And you can earn yourself a very fetching Hutton decal for doing it. To get involved, you just have to go to hot.forthemug.com and download or sign up for the spectacular Hutton Helper, available in 3 exciting formats. Let's face it, anything has to be better than wearing shorts in December. What is wrong with you people? Anyway, that's it for this week. Back to Studio 5. You can open the curtains.
Well, thank you very much, the apology officer. Right, Amelia is off trying to collect rares from inside one of the maelstroms this week, and she hasn't come back yet with any new goodies for us to try. So we're going to look forward to her return sometime soon, of course, once she's out of quarantine. Excuse me. I've got the Hutton Frog attacked me.
If she ever gets out of quarantine.
Well, but between yes, the frog in my throat and the sleep in my eyes, I think I'm just about done with the show for this week. Does anybody have anything else to add before we head in towards the end of the show?
Are we back next week?
Are we back next week?
Are we back next week?
Well, what day of the week is it next week?
Thursday.
It would be a Thursday.
Yeah, that's fine. It's a Thursday.
December.
It's the 2 Tooth. Yes, the 2 Little Ducks of December.
The 22nd, yes.
It's. I was going to say, given of the dates falling, I don't think it'll be the last stream of the year for me. But obviously, anybody who wants to take a week off to enjoy some festive celebrations, do feel free to shout. But I will be here.
I just wanted to check for a viewer.
I'll be here.
Flossy will be here. I'll be here.
I'll be here. I'll be here.
Let's face it, we're all sad individuals with no
Yeah,
lives.
we've
We're
got
all
nowhere
going to be
else.
here,
We
aren't
have no place else to go.
I mean, barring Hutton actually getting invaded with by Thargoids by then, we should be there. And if we're not, we'll be here just engaging in combat.
Do you want the Frisky Hippo and standby at Hutton in case we need to get out of there, like sharpish?
We do have an adder on standby. I think, how many seats has an adder got in it?
2.
Ah, okay. It's mine. It's my adder. You can get your own. Yes.
I'll have the Frisky Hippo. I've got bags of him.
How many slaves can you fit in a cargo container?
There is always the emergency escape option where we all stand in cubicle 3 and hit the big red extra hard flush button.
Oh, the big flush, yeah.
Purge.
The purge button, yeah. Oh dear, the noise. Having just in aeroplanes, when you go and use facilities, and you push the button. It doesn't flush so much as sort of
evacuate.
Evacuate.
You know when you go to Hutton, you can see those 3 big, massive tanks sticking up.
Oh,
yep.
Yes.
That's where the emergency flush comes from.
No, that's the gin distillery.
That's the 3
I thought
tanks.
one of those was the Vindaloo tank.
Okay, well look,
both.
we'll be back next week, next Thursday, and if you haven't earned all your drops yet, because we've had, an hour and a half of show this evening, have we had an hour and a half of show really already?
We've had an hour and a half of show because, I've had all 3 drops from it. So.
Yeah, I've had all mine.
There you go. So you should have had all your drops, but if you turned up late, you haven't had your drops, there's another show next week where you can top off your drops.
We are sad people with nothing else to do next Thursday, so if you're a sad person with nothing else to do next Thursday as well, or if you just want a break, come and listen to us.
Other than that, there's one little thing to say.
Oh, there is.
Who wants to do it this week?
Who's doing it?
Flossy.
I'll do it. All right, I'll do it.
Go on then.
For the mug!
For the mug!
Word,
for the
Flossy.
For that mug.
I can do that one.
Journey too long, cargo too small. Profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We're taking anything, anytime, anywhere. Loading all the teen out to the brim with the rest for the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, everybody sing the trucker song. Flossy always seems to crash into the sun. Skibble lights the pilot on the Xbox One. Alvin at the frame, you know he leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody out. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the more, for the more, for the more. You know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song.
Let's make another.
So give me a large path that I can land on, and I'll give you cargo and sing you my song. No point 22 light years to go, cruising to no journey too long, no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We're taking anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud, like you don't even care. For the more, for the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the more, for the more, for the more. Yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the more, for the more, for the more. Everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. Everybody's buggered off now, so why don't you bugger off too?